150 miles on the Harley Pan America with absolutely no dirt experience. This is a story about me, Brandon Bicasso, becoming acquainted with the most versatile motorcycle I've ever ridden. It's dirt inspired, and at the push of a button, you're on the street carving corners with knobby tires. Pan America, it shocked me and opened my eyes to a world I didn't know I craved. And my time with the Pan America was more than a test or a demo ride. It was a full experience. It was shared with many friends, all eager to experience something special too. Traveling tall, her two wheels, lolly, queen sit, doodle, bow, case, spite, and of course, shade tree surgeon. Awesome people in our community that you're familiar with. But here's my respective story from the group and how it all happened. My day started early to witness the Mojave sunrise. With the slight chill in the air, it was worth getting up early for the view. All right, everybody. Again, it's morning time. We're here at the compound, and we've got all these Pan Americas just sitting out here waiting to be ridden in the dirt. It's gonna be a wonderful day. Bo, how did you sleep?
I slept good.
I slept good too.
Apparently I snored.
You snored?
That heated mattress? It's clutch, dude.
Oh yeah.
I woke up sweating.
So I had mine on like 8.
No, I had mine halfway.
And I was trying to turn it down throughout the night, and I kept turning it up.
I had mine halfway, and I woke up sweating.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna put pants on.
I gotta get a heated bed now. You gotta go put pants on.
Told me I need a heated bed.
Are you ready?
All right, just so you guys know, these bikes are meant to be dropped at this event. So I know some of you guys are gonna say, "Oh my God, you guys are dropping their their bikes." You can see right here, these bikes are scuffed up. They told us last night, do not worry about scratching up these bikes. They're meant to be scratched up. They're meant to be put through the paces. They're meant to be ridden. So for the training portion of the ride, they took the windshield off and they're taking the mirrors off. So they're gonna do that for every other bike. You see, this is Jess's bike right here. So they're gonna purposely fit us to the bikes that fit us best, and then we're gonna be good to go. But like I said, they told us we are gonna drop these bikes. So don't be upset when you see us drop them.
No, I might want to try that one too, just to feel the difference in the bar.
Oh, awesome, perfect.
Well, yeah, it's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Seat feels okay. You want to roll it off the center stand and make sure you're comfy on the ground? Like that? Okay. Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
See that?
Yeah, that was neat. That was freaking neat. Do it again.
That's 2.
See how high it's getting now? It's leaning way over towards me.
Yep.
Yeah, it is getting higher. That is neat, man.
And then here, watch.
Now when we stand her up,
That is a neat thing.
yeah.
That's really cool.
And that's about the best way to just physically show what ARH does. Because like talking last night, when you're riding it, you don't feel it.
Right. Guys, this is gonna be my weapon for today. So it's already scratched up, so don't complain that I drop it, because Harley told me it's okay for me to drop it.
You're deep shit, you drop it. It's an adventure bike.
I'm gonna die if I drop this.
It's gonna be on the ground. It's not an if, it's a when. Yep.
Oh yeah. How you doing, Shade Tree?
Listen up, baby. If I was any better, I'd be twins. Life ain't bad, and it's good to be Shade Tree.
He's pulling all this from the ether every time, because I always wonder where he gets it from.
Ah, dude, I just wake up with a hard on every single goddamn morning, and it feels good, baby. Attack life, dick forward, okay? You only get one go around, so you might as well make it feel real good.
I can't stop mentally picturing you walking like this from now on.
Hell yeah, dude. Feels good. I like a nice breeze around my nethers.
What you doing?
Mounting the GoPro, which thankfully Bo was able to bring me a handlebar mount for this
Oh,
thing.
I actually brought 2 of those.
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't know. What you doing?
Doing the exact same thing. Mounting my GoPro.
Are you gonna mount yours in the middle?
I think so. I don't know. I kind of like them up higher, but I don't know if that's gonna be a good.
Straight enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go do that too. So of course we got my Bell MX9, we got my Cardo Black on the side, my GoPro on this side. It's gonna be sweet. Then we got the GoPro 9 right here. This is gonna be my weapon for the weekend. The reason we got the windshield again and the mirrors off is because we're doing the training course. And once that's all done, they're gonna put all that back on, and then we're gonna be good to go. But so far, I'm loving this setup. This is gonna be sweet. Just seeing the ride height adjustment was really cool too. So this is gonna be a fantastic day.
You look like an ass.
Got Brandon right here.
You guys do like all the time? Wow. No wonder you no
Right
wonder
at home with that motorcycle.
I feel at home. Yeah. So this is what it looks like when I'm flat-footing it, and the bike is actually on the kickstand and not on the center stand. 5 feet, 10 inches of sexy with a 28 inch.
made up ass inseam, if you ask me. Nobody knows that's the real number. You should say.
After breakfast, it was time for us all to learn the ways and the whys of ADV riding, learning why we look ahead and not down at oncoming obstacles, why we stand while riding on dirt, to also understanding the importance of maintaining balance. I totally handled my stick the best. That was fun. And picking up an ADV motorcycle the right way, especially when you have help at your disposal.
Y'all made that look easy.
All of that may seem trivial, but being open to learning and not assuming anything leads to a smoother process. Also, we learned the ins and outs of Pan America and how it does things differently from the rest. Most notably, the active suspension. It's one of my favorite features. We were all fitted to a Pan America for our specific heights for comfort, control, and maximizing body position. And Pan America has several handlebar and seat options, making it comfortable for a range of heights. I chose the stock setup, although I would find out later that having the higher handlebars wouldn't have hurt. My height is 5 feet 10 inches with a 28 inch inseam, and I'm able to comfortably rest my feet on the ground with boots on. I weigh around 175 pounds, which of course many stock suspension setups are adjusted to. The active ride height on Pan America helps with that. It automatically adjusts the suspension to maintain a sag rate of 30% regardless of weight. That ensures you always have the optimal suspension setting whether on or off-road, even with luggage or a passenger. And when in motion and coming to a stop, active ride height will adjust the suspension by 1 to 2 inches, allowing shorter riders to reach more of the ground. It's a handy feature that pays dividends instead of dialing in suspension by hand or struggling to get a foot down while not in motion. This feature also works with the power modes, most notably switching to sport mode and feeling the suspension firm up compared to the softer off-road mode. The suspension adjustment is instant, and this feature works overall very well. We just got done doing some drills, and we got one more drill, basically finding the balance point all the way around the bike, and then we're going to hydrate and get this on the road. So Tall's gonna do his drills with me on my bike because apparently my bike isn't as pretty as his, but we're gonna get this done. It's time.
It's time.
Got this. We're gonna have some fun.
Okay.
We're gonna have so much fun. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. As training started with Pan America, you think we would learn how to ride on the street and then transition to dirt. Nah. They put us straight in the dirt right away, and I ejected myself from the bike shortly after we started. All right, seriously. Before we even got to that point, we had to get used to being on an ADV bike and getting comfortable. That meant riding on one side of the pegs and then crossing your opposing leg on the seat while moving.
Hold the horn. You okay? Oh, you okay?
There we go. Yes. We're all going to be dropping bikes today. We practiced this drill as it allowed us to find how the balance and center of gravity worked on Pan America. And also we got used to standing on the bike as well, especially considering we'd be doing that 99% of the time. The other 1% would be sitting while riding on the street. But the training was easily no competition. The hardest thing I've done on a motorcycle. Slow speed maneuvers, learning to offset your weight opposite of a curve in dirt for traction, braking drills, balancing, throttle control, clutch control, many different techniques. Again, all while standing up riding, all on dirt. And it's not as easy as it looks and requires a different type of endurance and stamina. Luckily, all of this wasn't happening during the hottest months for the Mojave Desert. And I'm gonna tell you, many of us were wiped out by the end of the day. Before we could even get to the very first braking drills, we hit some of the surrounding dirt trails. And that's where I had that ejecto-ceto moment with sand. I found out fast why it's one of ADV riders' worst nightmares. I hit that patch in the ground pretty quick. It wasn't a hard fall, but I earned the blink of shame early.
Damn it.
That hurt a little bit. I hit some nasty little, everybody was squirming right here. All right, let's try it.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Tall.
We got tipped over, so we just turn it off and let it reboot completely. But you already having fun?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's sand.
Rebooting.
The blink of shame happens when Pan America falls on its side. Essentially, it's a tip-over sensor, but it shuts the engine off and flashes the emergency lights, letting everyone know around you that you just fell over. Eventually, we'd all pretty much go through this, making it a badge of honor between us.
So who caused you guys to get back? Oh, his lights are blinking. It was Bo's fault.
Those are the blinkers of shame.
Yeah, yeah, the blinkers go on. Wait, all of you guys went over, didn't you?
All right, get comfortable. Hop off your bikes.
Oh, you went down after me?
You created
You got the
a
blink of
hole.
shame.
You created a hole.
You created a hole.
I did? Blame Doodle. Tall went down too? No. Oh, I was...
Hey, the little shit right there.
Yes. Some of us have gone down. And now it's time to do a debrief. I'm going to get back on it. But yeah, I dropped the bike, but it is what it is. It's a part of the game.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to show you guys is what we call the friction zone of the bike. This is a clutch drill. It's clutch only, okay? The clutch is what makes this bike do everything, not the throttle, okay? So we can take this bike and just tape the throttle wide open, but still do a lot of slow speed maneuvers just by using clutch key. All right, so now I'm held in place with only the clutch. I'm just going to let enough out to get it creeping forward without stalling, and then I'm going to hold it in place again.
It's a lot harder, I will say, to maneuver the clutch with when you're manually trying to do it off the bike. It is not as easy as it looks. It is actually really difficult, but this to me is a lot easier because I have experience on my bikes doing slow speed maneuvers in traffic, like when I don't want to put my feet down, I kind of slow roll up to traffic. But on the sand, you just feel the bike just slipping sometimes, and they just tell you to just be confident and not be tense and just focus on looking forward and not really worrying about what the bike is doing, but more so what you're doing, because the bike is going to do what it wants to do, and you don't want to get to the situation where you're preventing the bike from doing what it wants to do. Well, a lot of this we're doing is just you just standing on the bike the whole time. You're just standing the entire time using the clutch. Try not to use the throttle, because basically you want to find that right at the edge of the friction zone. Because right now, oh, see, I stalled it. Caught it.
But later, we practiced braking drills, and that's how we learned how well Pan America is able to stop on dirt. And part of this was learning how to properly stop with good body position, and also finding out what the bike feels like with ABS engaged and with it turned off.
Drop this hand, mash that rear brake pedal and keep it down.
Okay.
Maintain that skid all the way to the stop, still standing.
Got it.
And then put your foot down.
Okay.
All right? Make sure your weight's back.
Got it. So looking like.
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Go ahead. My turn. So we're in Off-Road Plus, and I have no rear ABS. I'm not going to use any front brake. And the purpose here is to test how, I guess, rear skidding works on dirt. I'm not going to use any front brake, and I got to shift my weight to the back when he throws his hand down. Oh, I didn't do that, yeah.
But yeah, good way to stay on it. Good lean back. Eyes forward, you rode it. So
okay.
Good job.
I did not think to put the, I forgot to keep the clutch in.
In the default off-road mode, Pan America has the link braking system engaged. When using the front brakes, Pan America applies a small amount of rear brake automatically. But it doesn't apply front brake when the rear is engaged first, for safety reasons of course. But that system works really well, and then switching to Off-Road Plus, that turns off the link braking and ABS to the rear wheel. It also removes a fair amount of traction control too, but not all of it. In every mode, the brakes were solid in stopping, whether using only the rear brakes with no ABS or using only 2 fingers of front brake to stop, period. Those Brembos, they definitely work, and it allows you to slide the rear around if you want to when you're applying brake pressure. But body position was key to this, and it took me multiple attempts to get it right. When stopping on dirt, that means shifting your weight to the back to not fly forward over the handlebar while standing. This would come in handy later on during the experience.
Good. I'm gonna get it this time. Just lean back, butt doesn't go in the seat. I got it. Nice. I always get it when I get to you. Right. Think I got it. Yeah. Get it sideways a little bit. Everybody's here killing it, man. We've been dropping these bikes. Instructors have dropped the bikes, and at the end of the day, this is some very tough stuff to do, man. It is very tough. Look at Spite, he's killing it. He's freaking killing it. That doesn't get old, man. Feathering that clutch.
How you feeling, Tall?
Good, man.
Good. Now, how are you?
Yeah, man, feels good.
Good. Good.
No, it's burning up out here, man.
Shade Tree, how you doing?
Baby, all you guys crying and whining over here, man. Why don't you come down and run a mile in Florida in the swamp with me come July? This is beautiful. I don't want to hear it from none of y'all.
Hanging in there, Jess?
Yeah. Trying to fight off a migraine.
Oh no. Wally?
Pre-medicated. I'm pre-medicated, so we're good. I listened to them. I took ibuprofen.
Oh, I should have done that.
I took ibuprofen before
I missed that meeting. How about you, Case?
I'm living the dream. I got fruit snacks. I had Gatorade, a banana. Top notch.
You need nothing.
Doodle, how are you coping?
Right now I feel good, but an hour ago I was struggling with everything.
Still did good though. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good.
Okay.
It's been easy going so far.
I think the one that's struggling the most is Bo. How are you?
I'm toasty.
Hanging in there? Then came riding over hills. At first glance, some of us were a bit freaked out at the thought of going over a hill with the possibility of tipping over or rolling backwards or stalling out, right? But just as a reminder, the majority of us are street riders, and some of us have more dirt experience than others, but pretty much we're all noobs at this. But this was also a moment of learning how Pan America handles engine braking. Also learning more body position techniques as you apply front brakes going down the hill. This is where we experience the default engine braking settings that Pan America has, which are adjustable. And this is the first time I've actually experienced a feature like this. But if you want more engine braking, you can change the setting and change it to your liking. I left all of these settings on default because I really wanted to focus on riding, but we all handled this portion of training with ease and we all ended up enjoying it. Except Lolly. I don't think she liked this completely.
Lolly was terrified, but she conquered it though.
No
She killed
promises.
it.
My knees are shaking. Like they're still shaking. I'm sorry. Don't film that. Don't film my embarrassment.
So yeah, folks, we just did the whoop-de-doos in the hills. I was terrified. I thought I was gonna drop the bike, but I conquered it. I handled it. Bo handled it like a boss, even though we're all hurting in some type of way. But we're about to do the sand pit now, just to see
You're
if
about to
we're-
do the sand pit.
Well, I'm about to do the sand pit.
I'm
Just a
gonna keep
line
my
of
old
sand.
ass on the side cheering you on.
And the 2 times I've dumped the bike is because of sand.
Go, Brandon, go, Brandon,
So we're gonna
go,
see what we're gonna do.
But next up was the sand pit. This was by far the most challenging and probably the most exciting part of training. Well, all of it was exciting, but this part was almost dangerous, right? Again, sand is one of ADV riders' worst enemies. It upsets the balance of the bike, along with an inexperienced rider upsetting the bike even more. Luckily for us, we were trained by some of the best. But first go round, I went through this, and essentially, I dumped the bike.
I'm gonna try it again.
But with pride.
Ah. More throttle, got it.
I thought about not going again because I really didn't want to get hurt from falling off the bike multiple times and just getting tired out. But at the same time, I didn't want to settle for less. So I decided to go again. And this time I went through with, I'd say, the same amount of difficulty, but I remembered to be light on the handlebar and give more throttle when I'm losing traction. And of course, look forward, don't look down. And that helped. And I pushed through with ease and I wanted to go again. But you can hear the excitement and energy in my voice, but what wasn't caught on camera was everyone cheering me on. We all gave each other extra support through this, and that made this part of the experience even more awesome. But it was rewarding to handle the sand pit in the first day of riding off-road, and that skill, once again, will also come in handy the next day as well. But once we finished training for the day, exhausted, dropping the bikes, probably almost dehydrated, even though our camelbacks came in clutch for this trip, we made it to the highway for the first time on Pan America to Red Rock Canyon and sealed off the day. This would be an early reward for a day of successful learning and riding.
I'm coming in and I'm fucking ruining it.
I'm
baby.
fine
Come
with
here,
it.
you bastard.
I'm fine with
I love
it.
you
Yeah,
so
man.
much,
Love you too.
How good is this?
For me, heated grips came in handy on the way back as the temperature and the sun decided to rest for the day, along with having a motorcycle that's just as stable off-road as it is on highway stretches. And after training, I'm pretty sure we would all know that we will be well prepared for whatever the next day would bring. Getting a night of well-needed rest, we'd all be ready to make the next day as one for the books. We started off early in the morning around 8, getting ready to leave from Zakar for a 150-mile ride of dirt and street riding. It was time to put all of that training to good use. But Pan America with its adjustable windshield suits different heights for a comfortable highway touring ride. And I like to think that many people will be satisfied with the pocket it creates for riders. Of course, the ride gets even better with amenities like cruise control and active suspension, right? And I say this all the time, every motorcycle should have cruise control. As for the active suspension, again, it's magic. When switching power modes between off-road to road or sport, you instantly feel the suspension get more firm. It's a game changer. As we get closer to our first portion of dirt road, the mountains begin to get closer, and a feeling of immersion begins to settle in, and phone service becomes less of a thing. Seeing pipelines through the mountains was new for me, aside from riding off-road through California. on a Harley. Giving each other space on the route, we each go up the mountain one by one as we climb up to the first lookout point. We eventually get to our first stop on top of a ridge, and the views are pretty awesome. And honestly, I would have settled for this view all day, but this would truly only be the beginning.
It is beautiful out here.
Is
it awesome?
Look at you one-handed coming down that thing.
That was fucking dope. Yeah, he is.
I'm glad he got to experience it, because when he had the loaner Pan Am in Florida, you know, it's flat sand, so he's like actually getting to experience this bike.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, if I ever wanted to move out to California for a reason, this would be the reason. It is so freaking beautiful out here. It's just the mountains, and there's so many trails out here to ride these bikes on. It is insane. But yeah, and this is just the start of the day, but so far it's been amazing.
Getting back on the dusty trail, literally, I began to get in the groove on riding Pan America. I had a small mishap with my mirror loosening up from road vibrations, and I had to play catch up. But at this point, I had open road, no dust or anyone in front of me. And this moment was probably the most in sync I felt with the bike. This moment in the stretch of road was everything. The temperature of the day begins to increase, although for us, the temperature is beginning to slowly decrease as we increase in elevation. Not too far from here, we eventually reach another stopping point. Somehow we got all of these bikes on this perch, and we just had this awesome view, and it was a well-needed rest stop. But off in the distance, we were actually able to see portions of the famous Pacific Crest Trail. This was my first time seeing this.
That's a part of the Pacific Crest Trail for people that are hiking this trail, which goes all the way from Mexico to Canada. And the locals leave that water out for the people that are hiking, you know, as a kind gesture. So it goes from there, and I think it picks up over there.
I didn't know it could be this good, Brandon.
Me neither. Wow. It's beautiful out here. You said you didn't think it could get this good?
I didn't think it could be this good, man. Well, let me tell you, I exist in a constant state of amazement. You should try it. It's very nice.
Oh man,
all you gotta do is
it's so beautiful out here.
Feels good.
You can be amazed for everything.
Yeah, dude. Why are you gonna be like? I've seen that before. Have fun. It's a choice.
You're right. Everybody's pulling up in this little tight area for rest time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When we were coming up the hill, you had slowed down a little bit, and I almost stalled out, and that's why I went around to your left.
Very nice.
It's at this point that we swap off-road riding for riding on the street, but this time with curves and switchbacks. Pan America is dirt inspired, but that doesn't mean it won't hustle around curves on the street. The bikes we were given, of course, had the knobby tires and not street tires, but I personally couldn't tell the difference even while throwing Pan America around these curves. And at 560 pounds, Pan America feels like a joy in a curve. And I come from muscle bikes on the street, so anything under 650 pounds is automatically heaven to me. All 150 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque is available at the twist of the throttle. The suspension firmed up, allowing for a more sporty ride, making Pan America a good amount of fun to take on twisty roads. And it's amazing, again, how the character of the bike can simply be changed from pressing a button. It has multiple personalities at the rider's disposal. And when you're ready to get back on dirt, pressing one button changes it from a street weapon right back to a dirt weapon instantly. Being able to see the dirt roads we used to get to this point was rewarding. Knowing that we were once there and we had more road to conquer before the day would even be finished. Knowing that we were once there and we had more road to conquer before the day would even be finished. The temperature is cooler here, and we're all handling the day better than we did previously while training.
But at the bikes right here, man, this time we were climbing up the hill again. You guys can see, man, it is insane. The hill climbs are a little bit challenging. Not necessarily the hill, but going up a mountain. It's a little challenging, but it is so freaking fun. Oh my God, it is so much fun. But I actually almost lost it a little bit. I went a little wide over some bumps, then I hit some sand. But you know, from the training, made it work and then dropped the bike. So yeah, time for a little rest. But it is absolutely beautiful out here. And luckily the weather's a lot more cooler, at least up here, than it was when we were training. Yeah, today's been perfect so far, man. Can't wait for the rest of it. All right, folks, we're about to do a little quick photo op. And then we're gonna get to the highest point, I think, of the day where we can see completely into this valley. It's gonna be really neat. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to get some more food in my stomach too. It's been a long day, but a fun day. A lot better temperature-wise than it was yesterday. I can say that. But yeah, these riding with Tall and Case and Spite from the Amy Noob and Queen Sit, Lolly, Shade Tree, all the people from Zakar, Harley-Davidson, Doodle, Bo, Matt, Jess, everybody, man. It's just been fantastic.
It was here I set up and got one of the best shots, I think, of my professional amateur dirt riding career, as I almost lost it going through this corner. And it was a heck of a money shot. I'm actually really proud of it, but the views up here were absolutely stunning. I think Pan America made me look pretty good here. Let me know what y'all think about that down below in the comments.
This bike, I can tell you, is freaking incredible, by the way. I never would have thought I'd be on a Harley-Davidson in California riding up a freaking mountain. Like, me, a YouTuber, a guy that was riding Indians and with Suzuki's, now I have a V-Rod, of course. I just never would have thought I'd see myself up here with people like Tall and Her Two Wheels and Doodle and Shade Tree, man, and just Queen Sid and just really awesome people. Bo, Lolly, just amazing people, man. Spite, just amazing, freaking amazing.
After this round of even more stunning views, we begin to make our descent down the mountain and end up at a super chill spot for lunch. There was a change of scenery, and now there were smells of pine that touched my palate with a slight breeze in the air. And this was an area of serenity, but with the chance of bears. Bicasso don't like bears.
I might go to
Is there one close? Yeah, remember.
Go across it though.
So yeah, everybody else just got here on their bikes and they're eating. We got about a few miles left of dirt. Then we're gonna get back on asphalt, do one more photo stop, and then we're gonna get back to the hotel or back to Zakar. And we're gonna call this a successful trip. So far, nobody has done nothing more than dropping bikes, which is what we're supposed to do, and have a lot of fun. And that's what we've been doing. So far, successful trip.
With rest and now a bit more energy, we make our way down the mountain through areas of more lush green timber, open valleys, and tight corners with soft shoulders, and then the scenery changed once again to burned timber. Hey, I'm not complaining. The roads were still awesome, but it did look a bit out of this world. Eventually, our time with dirt roads came to an end, as we were now back on the street riding for a final blast down the mountain on a really fun piece of road. But we stopped at this lookout spot for one more section of photography and a moment of reflection for the fantastic day we just had in a really incredible area of view.
Yeah, we're at probably the best possible spot, in my opinion, for just wide, just openness. It is incredible out here. It's like everywhere we go, the views just get better and better. But I don't know how to end this video, man. There's just so much footage, so much fun, so much video. But I can tell you that I did not expect to love the Pan America as much as I do now. I really do like that bike. And what's crazy is that you can ride the bike on the dirt, and then you can put it on the street, and it can do all of that. And I think the craziest thing also is that when I was on it, they tell you a lot of stuff about the suspension, how it's auto adjusting and everything, but you notice it most when you swap the modes from like sport and it's really stiff and firm, and then you go to like off-road or like road, and then it either gets a little bit softer, but like it's instant when it changes, and it's just really cool. So you don't have to worry about manually adjusting anything. You just press the button and it does it for you. Listen, bike has me thinking like I want an ADV bike now, and if I wanted to get something, obviously I don't have a lot of experience with ADV bikes. I haven't been on any other one but Pan America. This one has set a bar so high, and dude, I just really like riding. I'm excited to go back, like finish going down this mountain right here. It's really fun riding that bike, either on dirt or street. It can do everything. So, and so much more to say, but yeah, Pan America, man, it's awesome. The lights of shame.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was like right behind you.
You're right.
And then I hit some really...
A lesson every drop. That just means I just got more lessons than you guys.
There it is. Nothing wrong with dropping. They're supposed to be dropped.
From here, we take the scenic route on the highway back to where we began. Well, everywhere was scenic, to be honest with you. But heated grips once again played a factor here, along with cruise control as the temperature and sunlight began to dwindle. The Revolution Max, as rev happy as that motor can be, it was pretty chill in a cruising fashion, allowing for a smooth ride for touring on the street. And of course, when you're ready to rip, simply twist the throttle and it wakes it back up. We finally make it back to Zakar, where our experience with Pan America began. A blue sky and a golden sunset with the moon in the distance were all visible as we brought this to a close. It was bittersweet, knowing that we'd all go our separate ways once again, but there's comfort knowing we'd all have this experience to share as a memory together. Pan America showed me a world I didn't know I craved. Off-roading through mountainous terrain, riding in areas and on roads with not much room for error. Maybe this is only the beginning, but Pan America has set a bar so high for me, it'll take something even more special to top this experience. I think many people should experience something like this once in their lifetime as a rider. Maybe not our situation with Pan America, but definitely an experience that challenges you as a person and puts you 100% out of your comfort zone. And luckily for you, Zakar is open to the public, so check them out if you like to experience these roads and training too. I'll leave a link in the description. As for Pan America, it has me thinking more about the world of off-roading. I needed all new gear just to experience this safely and in the most correct way possible. Also, if you're curious about the gear that I used on this trip, I'll leave links down below so you can check that out. But this motorcycle, it's overkill for my needs, so maybe I'll revisit this at another time. But all of the technology in this motorcycle adds convenience to the ADV experience and also the street riding experience that many will benefit from. We did find out that these motorcycles are pre-production models, so there are little nuances that have been refined on models that customers actually received. I had a small issue with the control buttons and felt that they needed work, right? The signal buttons, they were tough for me to use, and sometimes I didn't know whether or not to actually engage the signal. It simply lacked the feedback needed while trying to focus on the road. The handlebar layout to me also seemed a bit busy versus a more simpler control system used on other motorcycles. And that's also more of a nitpick, and I'm sure with more time that would all get easier. I didn't spend much time on the infotainment system, but it does have a lot of functionality there, relaying information to the rider and also a bunch of different settings that you can play with, like custom power modes and of course changing engine braking and also the active suspension settings. But the big factor that was most important to me was if I could see the screen in bright sunny days, and that was absolutely no problem. But the Revolution Max platform as a V-Rod owner has me absolutely excited to see what Harley-Davidson has planned for the future. It revs just as wild as the V-Rod does, with of course more power with the benefits of features like variable valve timing contributing to better performance, reliability, and overall less maintenance long term. This motorcycle, this platform, is 100% a knockout of the park. Even if you aren't an ADV rider, you should get out there and ride this motorcycle just to say you had a chance to. Again, it's dirt inspired, but it does have many tricks up its sleeve. But once again, an experience has changed me for the better. My riding habits, my expectations, my ability to continue to learn and grow has all been challenged once again, this time by Pan America. So yeah, I really do think I'd buy one, but I think first I'd have to ride a Sportster S as well. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments and hit that thumbs up button. Let's see what Harley-Davidson has to say about that. As always, thanks for watching, and thank you to Harley-Davidson and the awesome folks out at Zakar for this positive and once-in-a-lifetime experience. I hope you enjoyed my story, and if you're subscribed, I'll catch you in the very near next one.